0-3 versus 0-3, and the loser's going to go home pretty much crying at 0-4. Welcome in to Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and on today's show, we're previewing the Titans versus the Texans, a Week 4 matchup, divisional matchup between these two AFC South teams. And you see right there, the Texans are -7. At this point, they're not giving the Titans a chance, but I think that with how bad the Texans have played, this is the Titans' one shot in the next couple of weeks to get a win. Before we preview the game, could we get to 12,000 subs today? We are 662 away. And what do you get if you hit that sub button? Well, you get daily free Titans shows. So if you love the Tennessee Titans, if you're hoping for a win, click that sub button right now. Let's look at the top storylines of this game, and it's an AFC South divisional matchup. Both of these teams are at the bottom, and they're looking up top at the Indianapolis Colts like, how is this possible? It should be the Texans. Well, both of these teams are 0-3, and the winner gets to go above in that third spot, and then the loser gets to go all the way at the bottom at 0-4. And right now, let's be honest, the Titans look like an absolute dumpster fire. Brian Callahan he relinquished himself from play calling duties to Bo Hardegree, but then, I don't know, it was basically, you better give it away or you're going to get fired. And then we had this trade. The Titans getting a 6th round 2026 pick to give the Jets Jarvis Brownlee Jr. and a 2026 7th round pick. And I just think this is absolutely stupid. This is one of the dumbest trades I've ever seen because Jarvis Brownlee Jr. is a good cornerback, and now you have no depth. And the Titans are probably thinking, oh, well, Jarvis Brownlee is Jarvis Brownlee, but a 6th round pick could be anything. It could be Jarvis Brownlee Jr. Like, what are we doing? I saw this all over Twitter because that's basically what it is. The Titans are being the Family Guy method. Well, a boat's a boat, but the mystery box could be anything. It could be a boat. Come on, man. That is such a dumb trade. And it's like you could have had him develop into a top corner, and now the Jets are getting him. And already, Jarvis Brownlee Jr. is the top-rated, PFF-graded cornerback for New York. Me personally, after seeing that trade, it kind of makes me think, well, they're 0-3 right now. Could the Titans be heading for a fire sale? Do you want to blow up the team and just fully rebuild? Could L'Jarius Sneed be on the trade block? Could Jeffrey Simmons be on the trade block? Could Calvin Ridley be on this trade block? Because Calvin Ridley looks like shit. And that's not what you want to see, so maybe they can get something out of him. But enough about complaining about the Titans' moves and what they are. Let's preview the game, shall we? The Texans' offensive stats. They are almost as bad as the Tennessee Titans have looked, but you can see right here, yards per game, 29th, passing yards, 26th, rushing yards. They are terrible in every statistical category. And you can see right here with the passing yards the points per game, it's all the way at the bottom, 32nd. They cannot score when they get the ball. The Titans could easily take advantage of this. And when you look at C.J. Stroud's 2025 stats, what has happened to C.J. Stroud? Because he was looking like he was going to be one of the top quarterbacks in this league, but now he's kind of fallen off. 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Doesn't even have 600 yards, a 64 completion percentage. He is not good, and this is a way for the Titans to take advantage. And the offense of the Houston Texans, I know they're missing Joe Mixon. I know they're missing Tank Dell, but it's looked very, very rough. And you go look at what happened during that Bucs game last week. It just has looked completely terrible. And the offensive line might be worse than the Tennessee Titans. Here's your PFF grades of the Houston Texans, and they do not look good. Like under 50 for the left tackle and left guard. You're supposed to be C.J. Stroud's blind spot. Then you have Jake Andrews with a 55. Then Ingram and Howard as your 2 right tackles and right guard who are solid. But overall, it has not been good for the Houston Texans whatsoever. And there's a reason why they're 0-3. And they thought they would be contenders to win the division. No one thought the Indianapolis Colts were going to be good. So I took a look at just the Texans playmakers that they have right now. You have 3 on the offense, if that. C.J. Stroud, who's been playing bad. Nick Chubb, who's old and coming off how many injuries could you name? And then Nico Collins, who's been a solid wide receiver, but they don't target him enough because C.J. Stroud hasn't been good. Then on defense, you have Azeez Al-Shire and Derek Stingley Jr., Derek Stingley Jr., he's going to be on Calvin Ridley. So Cam Ward, he's going to have to make some magic happen with either Elike Manor, but with Elike Manor, how he's playing and how bad Calvin Ridley's playing, they might put Stingley Jr. just right on Elike Manor, and then hopefully you can just hope that Calvin Ridley can catch a pass. But then you look at the defense, and it kind of flips the script here. Like, the Texans' defense has not been that bad. It's the offense for the reasons why they're not winning games. 315 yards per game, which is 16th. Like, passing yards, top 15. Rushing yards, 16th. The points per game, they are holding up. The Texans just can't score, and that's why they're losing games. And on third down, that's probably their worst statistical category. It is 18th. What I think is going to need to happen is the Titans' defense is going to have to step up. You're going to have to get to the quarterback. Jeffrey Simmons is going to have to be his old all-pro self. You already are missing out on Tavondre Sweat, who's on IR for the next couple of weeks, so you need somebody to step up. Is Arden Key going to wake up? Is Draymond Jones going to wake up? And then now you're missing another corner because already L'Jarius Sneed has looked solid, but Jarvis Brownlee Jr. was looking solid, and now you just gave him to the Jets. So they're going to have to step up. And with their upcoming schedule, and I'm putting the Texans as one of those weak teams. They're 0-3 for a reason. You can gain some momentum. You can save Brian Callahan's job because this is arguably the easier stretch of the schedule with the next 4 games because you play the Texans, who are 0-3. The Cardinals, they play tonight on Thursday Night Football against the Seattle Seahawks, and me personally, I think that they're going to get blown out. I think the Seahawks are going to win, so if you know how I am with my entertainment purposes only, I think that the Seahawks are going to win tonight. And then you have the Raiders, who their offensive line is awful. And then the Patriots, well, they're coming to town, and I don't know how Mike Vrabel is going to take that game. It's going to be an interesting, but you're at home. You're at home. But it starts with Week 4 against the Houston Texans, and I really think that this game is going to be closer than people think. But Houston, their backs are against the wall. This is life or death for them. For the Tennessee Titans, we saw what they were against the Colts. It really, really did not look that great. Coming up, I'll go into the injury report for both teams and give you my keys to victory on what it is going to take for the Tennessee Titans to beat the Houston Texans. But first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. PrizePicks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off, which ones aren't. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on PrizePicks. I made a lineup involving Cam Ward, involving some of the Texans players, but you can make a lineup just like that one when you download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. All right. So when it comes to the Titans injuries, there's one injury that showed up on the injury report on Wednesday, and it's a big problem. And we'll talk about it, and you can see right there, J.C. Latham probably going to miss out. Khalil Mullings probably going to miss out. Bryce Oliver probably going to miss. But look who showed up on the injury report. Cam Ward with an ankle/calf injury. And that's not great, ladies and gentlemen. That is not great whatsoever. You do not want to see your rookie quarterback being limited in practice with how weak this team already is. And there is 100% reason just why, and we have a picture to go through, Moose. Before we do that, we have a couple. Oh, wait, no, you're right. I was getting way too ahead of myself. Because him showing up on the report is not great. And why? Because you're not protecting Cam Ward. And that goes into my first key to victory. And that is protect the living hell out of Cam Ward. I was getting ahead of myself because that is how bad this offensive line is, and that's how crazy it is to think of how bad Cam Ward is dropping back and just seeing everybody just Pause, come right in his face. Let's go to the picture because you could see on this chart, this is every quarterback in the NFL for weeks 1 through 2. We don't have the third week in there, but you can still get the point from this. You could see all the times pressured, all the sacks taken, and Cam Ward is all the way at the top right because he's getting pressured 29 times and he's been sacked 11 times. That is pathetic. That is absolutely pathetic. Mike Borgonzi, you spent so much money trying to get this offensive line great. You brought in Kevin Zeitler, who's actually been pretty solid. And then Peter Skronsky has also been pretty solid. But your tackles with Dan Moore Jr., when you paid him so much money, and then J.C. Latham has been hurt, it looks awful. It looks awful to the point where if we go at this pace, Cam Ward's going to be sacked 85 times. Of course, that's the record. I think David Carr has the record right now in his first year in the NFL back in 2002 at, I want to say it's in the 60s. That's on pace for 20 more sacks. Cam Ward, you have to protect him because it is insane. He's going to get hurt. He's obviously going to get hurt. He's already showing up on the injury report, and if you keep going at this rate, something's going to break. Something is going to break. We saw what happened to Joe Burrow in 2020 when that awful offensive line, and he's still having those problems today. Second key to victory, limit the big plays. And it doesn't matter what game we go to. If you want to go to the Broncos game in week 1, if you want to go to the Rams game in week 2, or you want to go to the Colts game in week 3, it feels like every single game there has been something happening. And the worst part, bad coverage. The Titans have allowed 6 receptions of 20-plus yards this season in 3 games. Because your secondary has not been good, your linebackers haven't been good, your safeties have been just okay. And mainly, the main problem that I see it is their running game. The run defense is bad. Week 1, it was R.J. Harvey and then J.K. Dobbins going for a big run. And then in week 2, it was Puka Nacua on a jet sweep for I don't know how many yards. And then week 3 against the Indianapolis Colts, I saw Jonathan Taylor break 5 tackles, and I saw L'Jarius Sneed look like a JV player out there because they're allowing a 40-yard run every single time. Limit the big plays, man. Stop making big-time plays happen because it's not great, and that is the reason why you lose after leading at halftime in 2 out of the 3 games. Keys to victory number 3, blitz the hell out of C.J. Stroud. I talked about earlier in the show how bad C.J. Stroud has been this year, specifically how bad he's been. He's not what he used to be. He is not his old self back in, 2023 when he was a rookie. And now you can see right here, 2 touchdowns for 3 interceptions. And why do I think that is? Well, because I think Cam Ward's a good quarterback, but you can see he's getting pressured a ton. And we know how bad that the Texans' offensive line is. Well, if you look at his stats right here, when it's kept clean and under pressure, according to PFF, his completion percentage drops from 68% to 55%. Then he also throws 2 interceptions. And his turnover-worthy plays go from 1.5% to 4.2%. It's not good. And when he gets under pressure, he folds. And he becomes Nathan Peterman at this point. It's not good. This isn't the same C.J. Stroud that we saw his rookie year. If you can get to the quarterback, they're not going to move the ball down the field at all. I saw what the Bucs did back on Monday Night Football a couple weeks ago, where he threw it right to the defender on 3rd down. If you can make that happen against the Titans this week, or if the Titans can make it happen, he'll throw an interception too. And the last one, this goes into coaching. Play like you care, man. Play like you have something to play for, like you have energy. Because in the last couple weeks, specifically in week 3, it feels like this team has given up on Brian Callahan. It feels like this team doesn't care anymore. And this comes straight from one of the Colts players, their star wide receiver, Michael Pittman. He said, talking about the Titans, saw it during the pregame intros. They kind of looked a little sluggish. They were kind of just walking around. Nobody really bouncing right then and there. We all sat there and were like, they don't want to play today. They don't want to play football today. And that goes into, they probably don't care. They gave up on the team. They've given up on the coach. Because I think Brian Callahan might have lost the locker room. But You're only 0-3. You're only in week 4 of the NFL season. You got to play 17 games and you only played 3. Show some heart, show some fight. No one wants to be the laughingstock of the NFL. No one wants to be 0-4. So go out there and actually try. Because if you have another week where their wide receiver is looking like, man, they don't care, this is going to be an easy game, then you're going to be in for another blowout, and we're going to be talking once again about should you fire the head coach. Predict the score of Titans versus Texans for me. Go down in the comments section right now. Do you think the Titans get their first win of the season, or do you think it's going to be 0-4? My score prediction, I see how this coaching staff is. I think that the Titans are going to be closer, but I think the Texans are going to play like their life is on the line. They do not want to start 0-4. They expect it to be a playoff team. I think they're going to bounce back, unfortunately, and win 21-13. Keep giving your score predictions down in the comments section, and while you're down there, also hit that sub button if you want weekly Titans coverage. We got a video coming out for you guys after the game ends featuring my reaction, all my takeaways, so make sure you hit that sub button, and as always, tighten up.